Can you go check if they're alive? I'm sorry, no. Someone just got shot in the middle of a public area and you want me to walk up immediately afterward and like inspect them? Like, we're gonna watch a video about a suspect that realizes his identical twin is the killer. Now, I don't know how it would work if your twin is a killer, because like if it's the same, would it be the same DNA? Would it be like a 1-to-1 match? Would you be able to discern if it was you or not? Like, would you be if your twin did something like that? That's my question. Like, would you be screwed over? They have the same DNA. But like, imagine like, yeah, we have a video of you doing this thing on CCTV. What are you gonna be like? That's not me? If they're identical, the only thing to tell them apart would be the fingerprints. Really? So everything else is exactly the same.
That's interesting because my DNA couldn't have been in that car because...
Okay, I have a theory though, before we start. Two theories. He actually has a twin, or he has schizophrenia. Those are the only two possibilities, okay? I'm not even saying this to be like, throw out schizophrenia as like a stereotype diagnosis. The only way you would believe there was another version of you doing stuff that looked the same, acted the same, and all of this would be schizophrenia or dissociative identity disorder. So schizophrenia, DID, or the only two ways this could be possible from my knowledge of, you know, how that stuff sort of happens.
I've never been in that car.
You're saying that's not you?
That is definitely not me.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. No. How you pinpoint anyone with this ass video? You can't even see his face, bro. That is a blob of one solid color. This CCTV footage is so deep fried, you could not identify a single person in this video. Like, what are we even talking about? This could literally be anyone. Okay, like this could be anyone. That could be anyone. This could be anyone.
Like that, I only can't even see the face on that person, but that's not me. Yeah, fuck, I'll take it. Okay.
On July 18th, 2008, Duluth, Georgia police found elementary school teacher and adoptive mother of 3, Janai Coleman, brutally gunned down in a parking lot. The police rushed to investigate what kind of monster could have been behind this ruthless act.
That sounded so serious. Sorry, I did not mean it that way.
Eyewitnesses, CCTV footage, and DNA tests, the detective zeroed in on the prime suspect and had a mountain of evidence against him. Little did they know that all their efforts were meaningless, and the true perpetrator would be someone they never could have expected.
We gotta go in that mall, and the lady just got shot.
Where at it? That place full.
Where the bus station's at.
Is she breathing, conscious and alert?
Yeah, she moving a little.
Did you see where the person is that did it?
Yeah, he was in a car, but he pulled off. Like, it was like a beige car.
It was 9 p.m. on the 18th of July in Duluth, Georgia. And Janai Coleman
I also feel like sometimes the dispatchers ask questions like, can you go check if they're alive? I'm sorry, no. Someone just got shot in the middle of a public area and you want me to walk up immediately afterward and like inspect them? Like, I'm sorry, what if the person comes back and tries to shoot me? I'm gonna stay behind my car and call you like, hey, I'm not going over there, but like, pull up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like the way these dispatchers act, it's like they've never been in a rough neighborhood before. Like, I'm not about to go, like, this could be like a gang situation. This could be anything. I'm not trying to get in the middle of something that I didn't want to sign up for, you know?
She always did on Friday nights, waiting to pick up her daughter.
Whether I check her pulse or not, it's not gonna save her. You know, it's just gonna let them know that they're alive or dead. So you're coming either way. So am I gonna check if they're alive for you? No, just come, send an ambulance, do it.
She had parked her gold Dodge Stratus near Gwinnett Place Mall just outside Red Lobster, where her daughter was finishing her shift. This was her routine, familiar, safe. But that night, something was off. As Janai sat in her car, a man emerged from a nearby gas station with a gun in hand. Before she could even process what was happening, he was at her window, ordering her to get out of the car. Janai had no chance to react. Before she could even have time to plead or fight back, she heard a gunshot. A single deafening blast echoed through the lot. The bullet had torn its way through Janai's chest. But the attacker wasn't done. He dragged her from the car and tossed her onto the pavement like she meant nothing, before speeding away in her vehicle, leaving her in a pool of her own blood as she called out in pain for help. Some witnesses rushed to
I'm gonna
help
be honest, if
Janai.
you're trying to steal a car, like they would have just gotten out anyways if you had a gun to their head. Why did you need to actually pull the trigger?
While others called 911. When the paramedics arrived, they stabilized her, racing against time to save her life. But just 10 minutes into surgery, Janai succumbed to her injuries. The news shattered the Coleman family. Why would anyone want to kill her? A beloved mother, teacher, and friend who stayed in her lane, avoided trouble, and lived her life with kindness and purpose. So the detectives had just one question. Was this really just a carjacking? The act felt personal, too violent and too bold, more like a crime of passion. But little did they know, the investigation was about to take a turn that no one saw coming. While detectives couldn't yet determine if this was
Like,
a crime
I feel like also, I don't know, I definitely feel like that seemed premeditated.
of passion or just a random carjacking, one thing was certain. They needed to find Janai's car. For nearly 24 hours, the search turned up nothing. But then, on the 19th of July, 2008, a call came in. Janai's gold Dodge Stratus had been found abandoned, sitting 30 miles away from the crime scene in Forest Park, Clayton County.
Why abandon the
Was
car?
immediately towed to the crime lab, where forensic analysts began their meticulous examination. The inside of the vehicle looked
Maybe they were just using it as a
untouched.
getaway vehicle? I thought
Nothing
they were
out of
trying to
place.
rob her.
Except for one thing. A cigarette butt was wedged under the driver's seat. Now that seemed insignificant at first, but once the detective
I swear to God, some criminals are so dumb, it's crazy. How you gonna smoke a cigarette in the car of a lady you stole that you just killed and leave it in the car? Dummy. I'm glad you stupid though. I'm glad you stupid so you get
knew
caught.
that Janai didn't
Stay
smoke,
stupid.
they realized that the cigarette could potentially belong to her killer. If they could extract DNA, they could find exactly who took Janai's life. But the detectives had no idea just how complicated this was about to get. So while forensic teams worked on extracting DNA from the cigarette, detectives turned their attention to the gas station across from the crime scene, hoping CCTV footage had captured the attack. But luck wasn't on their side, as the camera didn't cover the angle that Janai was murdered. So with no usable footage, the detectives turned to witnesses. A bus driver.
Yeah, I don't think the killer wanted the car either. I think the killer was just trying to kill them and then use that car as a getaway car so that they wouldn't have their car attached to the crime.
Been near the scene at the time of the attack had heard the gunshot and then saw a black male dragging Janai out of her car before taking off in the stolen Dodge. She described the suspect as wearing khaki shorts and a white shirt with green sleeves. Luckily for the detectives, a man matching this exact description had been spotted in Forest Park, the same area where Janai's car had been dumped. At the same time, detectives got 2 pieces of surveillance footage of the man from 2 different locations. At the gas station store, the suspect was seen purchasing an item before leaving. But then, he came back to purchase a pack of Bunsen Light Lung cigarettes, the exact same brand of cigarettes that were found in Janai's car.
Welcome back.
Surveillance footage confirmed his movements, tracking him as he abandoned Janai's Dodge in Forest Park. So at this point, the detectives believed that they had everything they needed. They had a suspect, they had video evidence, and they had DNA from the cigarette.
I mean, is that enough?
They were so close, yet so far from solving the case. When the forensic lab results came back, detectives were hit with a setback. The fingerprints found in Janai's car had no matches. The DNA from the cigarette, also no matches. Their prime suspect was still a ghost in the system. So with no name, no identity, and no criminal record to match, detectives had one last option: to turn to the public. So, detectives released the surveillance video of the man at the convenience store, hoping that someone would recognize him.
No, guys, no, detectives, cops, police, investigators, be so serious. Actually think, okay? Usas tu cabeza, okay? You can't see who the hell this is. No, you cannot see who the hell this is. There is no detail in the face. This CCTV camera is more deep fried, okay, than some black burnt coal, All right, like you can't see anything on this. Okay, this literally looks like the TV on the TV in like an indie horror video game. Like you can't see anything, bro. Like it literally just looks like there's no pixels when it gets dark. They just looks like dead pixels, bro. You can't see anything. Do you recognize this guy? So anyone with like a similar body type that is of this same racial ethnicity and has worn this ugly ass t-shirt, you on the list?
By February of 2010, the case had long gone cold. But then, out of nowhere, a breakthrough. A notification from CODIS, the National DNA Database, popped up. The cigarette butt had finally found a match. The suspect had entered the system due to a recent drug conviction. The man was 50-year-old Donald Eugene Smith. He perfectly matched both the witness.
You wanna know what's crazy? Yo, chat, I ain't trying to be like stereotypical. This looks pretty similar to the guy when I got like held hostage with my sister when the car. Like this is kind of what he looked like if he was like 70 in the face, but like wasn't 70. You know what I'm saying? Imagine this guy, but like significantly taller and actually looks 50 years old and had like a hat that covered his eyes that was like white, that was like very shady. Kind of looked like the lower half of the face is similar. The eyes, I can't really tell. I didn't really see the guy's eyes. It's not the same guy. It's not the same guy, but I'm just saying like they kind of look similar.
And the surveillance footage. With a court order in place, detectives wasted no time. And on the 3rd of February 2010, nearly 2 years after Janai's murder, Donald Eugene Smith was arrested. But they were still far from justice for Janai, to say the least. With solid evidence linking Donald Eugene Smith to Janai Coleman's murder, detectives were confident that they had their guy. Now, they just needed a confession. But what Donald said next, no one saw coming.
Okay,
Georgia.
You want to discuss it? I think so.
Wait, it's in the South? Yo, if at the end of this guy is off, or he got convicted and then he got released later eventually, like, I'm cutting this out of the video. Yo.
You just explain to me why I'm here.
Okay. Really, it's about this vehicle, okay? I'm going to ask you questions. Have you ever seen this
Nah, it's probably not that guy, though.
No, I have not.
Have you ever met this woman?
Because he looked a lot older.
No, I haven't.
Vehicle you said you've never seen before? Mm-hmm. And the woman you've never seen before?
Yes.
Okay. Your DNA ended up in that car.
That's interesting because my DNA.
In the way he's answering these questions, he doesn't seem like he's lying. A lot of times when people lie, they'll say statements as questions. They'll be like, no. Oh, I've never been in that car. They'll kind of like raise it at the end. Like, you know, when you ask a question like that, right? Instead of being like, no, I wasn't in that car. Like when you make a statement that you're stern on, normally towards the end of your sentence, it goes lower. Now you might have really bad like linguistic abilities. So this might just be something you do on accident. But I do feel like he sounds like he genuinely doesn't know what's happening.
Couldn't have been in that car.
He's even laughing at how absurd it seems.
Never been in that car.
Though it is normal for suspects to deny involvement in a crime, there was something different about this
His
one.
demeanor.
The detectives had all the evidence facing Donald, and he just looked them in the face and said no. Donald was adamant of his innocence, and the detectives definitely didn't like that.
The issue we're up against. You know, I was hoping you said, yeah, I saw her, I used to work with her, he hung out for a minute.
Yeah, they don't have enough to convict him. This is not enough to convict him because there's no clear face in the thing, and the DNA, like, you never know. Someone could have taken it off the street, put it in the car. Like, there's so many defenses they could make around this, being like, well, how do you know it was his cigarette? How do you know the criminal didn't take a cigarette off the ground and put it in his car? You know what I'm saying?
When I left, she was very much alive. Well, something like that we can somewhat explain away. But when you say you had never been seen her before, how the hell did his DNA get in the car if he didn't even know her?
No, I don't know her. Never seen her.
Sensing that Donald was being deceptive, the detectives played the surveillance video they had of him.
Nah, he seems a little too confident.
I have a picture basically on a computer I want you to look at.
I'm not gonna lie, on God, if I was him, they show me that ass awful picture, the 2 megapixel, the feeder, bro, the 2 megapixel micro picture. Okay, I would have laughed in their face and be like, can you even tell who this is? Can you even tell us who this is? No. Like, no.
Let me know if you recognize it as yourself or not, okay? This is the day I'm talking about.
But also, like I said, if he has like undiagnosed schizophrenia, he might genuinely not believe it's him. That's the thing with like schizophrenia and DID. You actually a lot of times don't know you have an alter or don't know that your mind is playing tricks on you this much.
Was it with this guy right here?
But he doesn't seem erratic at all.
You're saying that's not me?
That is definitely not me.
He's like, I would not wear that ugly ass outfit.
Like that, I don't have I don't care to see the face on the person, but that's not me.
Yet again, Donald stood his ground. So the detectives brought out their next card. And this time, Donald's response threw the case onto a twisted journey that no one expected.
Your cell phone number at the time was 404-200.
Correct?
No, that was not mine. That was my brother's phone number.
Okay, does he live in Gwinnett County?
Yes, he does.
And what's your brother's name, sir?
Ronald. Ronald.
Is he older, younger? Does he live at the same address as your parents? Different?
He's my twin.
Twin?
Yeah.
Yo, he just ratted on his brother. Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Listen, hey, listen, love you, sisters. If y'all get accused of murder and there's DNA evidence, I'm throwing you under the bus too. If I'm going down or you're going down, that's you, okay? I'm not protecting your ass at all right? All that vengeance and all that little face scratching and beating on me when I was a kid, I'm gonna be like, yeah, now it's your time to get beat by the justice system. All right, and I love my sisters, but like, if I'm in this predicament, I'm sorry. You definitely killed the person at that point. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Like born at the same time or identified as that?
Like born at the same time, like identical twins, yeah.
Okay.
Detectives were convinced that Donald was just playing games, but if this was a game, it was a very expensive one.
DNA is split between 10 twins. It's indistinction. They share DNA, identical twins.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in that car.
From me or Detective Cruz, how would your DNA get in that young lady's car?
I've never don't know the young lady. Never.
He just answered the damn question. His brother. The thing is, the reason they didn't hit his brother and they hit this guy instead is his brother probably hasn't committed any crimes before. So there's no DNA record for him in the system. Does that make sense? Like for me, for example, I registered for like TSA pre at one point. If you ever register for TSA pre, you better not commit no felony, okay? Because they got everything. They got your prints, they got your picture, they got your name, they got all of that information. Yeah, to make it really easy to arrest you. I don't think they do DNA though.
Somebody who shares my DNA, obviously.
Conclusion, I'm jumping to what you're saying. If it's somebody shared DNA, then it will have to be either you or your brother.
Obviously.
Okay. What's phone? What color is this phone?
Yo, hold on. I'm not going to implicate nobody else in no crime.
You're not implicating. I'm just asking you what color is your brother's phone.
Do you know where he's staying?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do.
Where is that, sir?
I don't know. Well, because now I guess he's going to be the suspect.
No, I need to talk to him.
If your brother did something.
What you mean he's gonna be the suspect? No, I just need to talk to him. Yeah, to make him the suspect. Idiot. I like how the stream. What's good? Welcome in. What's good, Lucy? Welcome in as well.
That's stupid. You need to go ahead and just educate yourself on the whole situation.
You're right. I don't think I need counseling on that. This is a difficult moment.
I understand.
Yeah, see, he doesn't want to go down for his brother's crimes and he thinks that's wrong, but he feels bad ratting out his family members. That's what it is.
I understand.
Previously that you would do a polygraph. Do you want to just do that?
No, but I want to know. Now, when I refuse this test, you gonna go ahead and book me and take me over where you gonna take me to?
Right now you weren't charged. You are under arrest. I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and give you some time. You want some fresh water? No.
Do you say, nah, I'm good, man? Want some fresh water?
I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and give
Yo, you know, technically, if they give you water in a police station and you like drink it, they can like test that for evidence legally, I'm pretty sure. It's like, even if you don't want to provide a DNA sample, like they could cross-reference the spit from that with the cigarette, but they already have his DNA, so why the hell would they even need to do that? So at this point, he should just take the damn water. It's not gonna implicate him on any more of a crime.
Time runs.
They already have his DNA on both things.
Donald indeed had a twin brother. But were the two accomplices? Or was Donald trying to throw his brother under the bus? Or is he telling the complete truth?
I think he's telling the truth. He just doesn't want
Hoping to
throw his
find
brother
out,
under
the
the bus.
detectives ran a polygraph test, and Donald failed woefully.
Now, obviously, when we show you the video before,
Oh, he failed.
obviously you didn't. You said it wasn't you. You had mentioned to me that you felt strongly it was your brother.
Yeah, it's my twin. Now, in light of the fact that I had taken this polygraph, I had no reservations about taking that whatsoever. The lady says that.
Okay, but also my thing with polygraphs, they suck. Because the thing is, if you act a little bit scared of the question, like if they ask you a question and you get anxiety, even if you don't, even like, well, if you get anxious while answering it, they presume it's a lie. But you could just be scared that it's going to be registered as a lie, which would make you anxious, which would make you sweat more, which would make you freak out. And if you're being implicated of a crime such as murder, you're going to be anxious answering every question on a damn polygraph test. So it kind of like doesn't work. Does that make sense?
When she was asking me the questions, the only thing I kept seeing was my brother doing something like that. It's devastating, actually. As if anyone that we know, mother and father, was to see that same video, anybody that we know that that's him. And,
Also, in the court of law, you can't even use polygraph tests. So the police are just doing this to like maybe get information, to maybe find out other stuff, but you can't bring it up into court.
not only by demeanor, but certainly by dress.
The detectives played the CCTV footage for Donald's sister, mom, and dad, asking them to identify which of the twins was in the footage. And they said it was indeed Ronald in the footage.
Oh.
Additionally, on a smoke break from the interrogation, Donald hand-rolled his cigarettes, something entirely different from the brand found in Janai's car. So now the detectives were confused because Ronald had no criminal history, so everything pointed to Donald. Ronald was called in for an interview.
Wait, they all said it was Ronald or Donald? Damn, I'm confused.
Asking them to identify which of the twins was in the footage. And they said it was indeed Ronald in the footage. Additionally, on a smoke break from the interrogation, Donald...
Okay, so they thought it was the other twin. So they thought the guy that was investigated was telling the truth.
hand-rolled his cigarettes,
Okay.
something entirely different from the brand found in Janai's car.
Damn, Ronald Donald is crazy.
So now the detectives were confused because Ronald had no criminal history, so everything pointed to Donald.
Yeah, but he
was
had
called
drug
in-
charges. In my opinion, drug charges ain't really a criminal history. Like, to be honest with you, you did a drug, okay. If you were selling drugs, maybe we can make an argument. But if you're just doing them, like, that's not really indicative of like bad behavior elsewhere in a lot of cases, if that makes sense.
for an interview, which he refused, and then he began to dodge the police. They eventually found him hiding in his parents' home. The detectives had focused all of their efforts on Donald, but now, for the first time, Ronald became their new focus. On the 5th of February 2010, Ronald was arrested and brought in for interrogation.
We're in a detention type situation, okay?
Can you, whatever you're gonna say, could you put it on hold for just a little while?
Why is that?
Wait, their demeanors are totally different. Off rip, they're totally different. The other guy seemed like a very like esteemed, poised, level-headed guy. This guy's like, all right, man, give me a second. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, bro. Hold on. I need to just inhale real quick. Like,
Just can you? You say I'm gonna be here for hours, can you just put it on hold for a little while. I think you need to draw some blood or something.
You want him to draw the blood first?
Just,
Well, you tell me what you want to do. I mean, I want to talk to you, but before I can talk to you, I gotta read you. I gotta read you your rights.
Well, you don't have to arrest me right now.
What do you mean I don't have to?
Well,
What do you mean, Ronald? Explain to me. I mean, I have to get this done. This is just a formality, and then we can just talk, and that's fine. If you tell me come back in a little while, I'll come back in a little while. But I have to do this by law. I have to.
well, you wasn't by law when you was.
We were sitting
outside.
down talking, and we're having a smoke. I have to advise you of your rights. The fingerprints have come back, okay? And the fingerprints are a match. So for us to discuss the matters of the fingerprints and the other things, I have to advise you of your rights. Okay? You have the right to remain silent.
I'm just combobulated right now. I can't.
Damn, the fingerprints.
All right, I'll leave you with your thoughts, and then I'll come back in and you let me know. But you do understand what I've just read to you, right?
I understand.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, one other thing. So,
Yes.
so then my brother can be released?
The truth, though, was that the detectives couldn't release Donald until they were absolutely certain that neither of the brothers was playing games.
Okay.
I'll get a different phone for you to use. Unless you want to use yours. I mean, it's your minutes. It's up to you.
I might as well burn him up.
Okay. I'll get it for you. Sit tight.
Hey, a whole lot has happened. They'll be letting Donald go as soon as possible. Well, I ain't going nowhere no time soon. I was trying to get them to at least let Donald go tonight, but it just can't happen quite that fast because it actually made a warrant out for him. So
Yeah, the way they kind of like carry themselves is very different, which is kind of interesting because I feel like a lot of twins are very similar in that aspect.
so it has to be a process where the district attorney has to get in touch with the judge. It's not like they can just automatically just release him. But then he's trying to do it before Monday. He's trying to do it. He said he was going to try to do it tonight, but I don't know how it's going to work out. But what? Was a search warrant. The charges of murder. Don't look too good. I hate to say that, but no, it doesn't look too good. Damn, I can't. But my little time is running up on this phone. I tell you this, Dad. I'm in deep shit. Yes, sir. Oh yes. I am. Oh yes.
Was this something accidental? There's something like that I can almost understand.
I love when cops try to empathize. Like, you know, if this was a mistake, man, like we can clear it all up. Yeah, you gonna clear it all up by putting me behind bars. That's what the you gonna do. Okay, so hell no, I'm not gonna tell you anything. Yeah, man, listen, like we can, if this was an accident, like, we got you. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, stop. Come on, I'm too grown to fall for this dumb. Okay.
And I guess that's the question he's saying. Accidental makes more sense, and that's what he was alluding to. You seem to have so much emotion right now. And obviously, you care for someone for 45 years. That's something more that I can understand, but just looking for some understanding.
What was said? What was said that made you, that either set you off? Yeah, I guess the only words I could say, like, maybe set you off or angered you or upset you for things to have gone the way that they did.
I'm not prepared to go to nothing like that.
What do you?
I'm just not prepared to go into nothing like that right now. I'm just not.
Or just because emotionally you can, or is it draining, or?
No, I'm just not prepared to give any kind of a statement.
Okay.
Huh? Like, what the did you even say? Like, I'm sorry. I literally forgot what he said because it dragged on for so long. Can someone summarize? I genuinely, my brain, like, started to just tune it out. Cause it was like, yeah, no. So, I'm not really feeling like, I'm not really feeling like, giving, I'm not really feeling like, I don't feel like, I need some time. Well, actually, no. Well, maybe, no. Like, get to it.
Maybe you might be prepared to talk to us about it. I need some time.
I need to get past the hard.
The what? I'm sorry. Would you like to see your brother?
I just want my brother to go.
Your brother really wants to see you. He misses you and he's worried about you. Yeah.
Nah. You wanna know what they doing? Bro? They're trying to see or put them in the same room together to see if they start like giving each other signals to be like, so we lying, right? Yeah. So we lying, right? Yeah, we lying, right? Yeah. What's good? Like, that's what they definitely are trying to do, something like that.
Ask me, can I see?
But I also don't think they would technically be allowed to interact with each other if this was a real criminal case. I don't know.
I really like to see my brother. Those are the exact words out of his mouth. I want to see my brother.
You talked to him today?
He's right next door. He's sitting in that room right there.
Are you serious?
I swear to you. I swear to you. He wants to see it.
But you can't let him go.
Why don't I do this? When I bring him in, you guys sit down. Let him see it. He's worried about it.
He can't see me right now. Right now.
He's dying to see it, man.
Yeah, boy.
All he wants to do
Is he crying?
Tell you that he loves you. And that he's going to be here for you.
Not right now.
So you want me to go next door and tell him that he's 4 feet away from his brother and can't see him?
Yeah, tell him that.
Now he got some shame for whatever the hell he got into.
Why don't you get some water, gather yourself together, and see your brother.
From the moment that Ronald stepped into the police station, it was obvious that something was off. He was visibly restless, and that phone call that he made to his loved ones did not seem to make things better.
Yeah, the phone call made it seem like he was like, I can't tell you that. We can't talk about that. I can't tell you that. Like he's like guilty.
Detectives saw an opportunity, and they thought that the best way to break Ronald down was to put him face to face with Donald. But before bringing him in...
See, what did I tell you? To break him down. They don't want... Nah, his brother never even said, I want to see you. They're just like, yeah, we're going to make you emotionally vulnerable, so you start talking.
Did this.
I want to do, I don't know if you knew this woman, but this is the woman, okay? And her name was Janai. Okay? She had 3 adopted children. Alright? She was a school teacher. Her family, begged me just to find out what happened. They begged me. And they're very religious people. And they were more just wanted to know why than anger. And they stressed that to me. Okay? Her cousin's a deacon. Now they're from another state. She had 3 little adopted children. Okay?
Damn.
They just wanted to know why. And I promised them I would at least ask the why. And I perceived it to be accidental. Okay? But I don't know. And I promised them I would ask why.
Yo, these cops are on some shady, like, emotional vulnerability thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna break you down. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, like I said, I feel like every time I watch these, I'm like, damn, these investigators are good. But, like, I feel bad. But I'm also like, if you kill someone, I don't feel bad at all. You know, it's just like, since I don't know yet, I feel kind of bad leading up to it. Does that make sense?
I told him I thought it was an accident. I'll be honest with you. I mean, am I right?
I'll be honest with you. He's dead lying.
I can't. I swear I just can't say it right now.
Okay. Well, you let me know. Okay.
I feel like admitting to your... I feel like him facing his brother is like kind of psychologically him seeing like what could have been if he didn't kill this lady. So they're trying to like position him to be like, yeah, you messed up. And on top of that, it's shameful to like have your brother like be arrested because of you, and then you're like did something crazy.
Because I made them promise I would try to just know why. They don't even care about anything else but just to understand what happened and why. Okay? If you need something, just knock on the door.
Okay. Can I?
You need a tissue bag?
Trying to push for a confession, the lead detective used Reed Interrogation Technique 7, offering Ronald a socially acceptable reason for the crime. Usually, most suspects jump at this chance, eager to minimize their guilt. But Ronald was so devastated that he shut down completely. So, they sent in Donald.
Damn, they actually did?
Look.
I'm really surprised they let them talk. I'm not gonna lie.
tell you what's gonna happen, though. When they take you to the jail, the process, you're gonna see a judge tonight. What time it is, they're gonna take you in front of one. There's a place over there. They'll be the same way, because I get about 2:30 in the afternoon. I didn't get over there till, I don't know, 1 or whatever it was. That night? Yeah. Yeah, because they took me down to the scene of the crime and everything. These dudes here. And,
where were you arrested at?
Downtown, right on the corner with the, where I picked up my mail. That's how they knew where to come get me. And the reason they came and got me, because of the DNA. We got the same DNA. Mine's in a database, federal database. Because once you're in the federal system, they take that shit before you get out.
So he's just telling his brother what's gonna happen, basically.
Judge, that's the first thing that's gonna happen.
Then they dress you out. You're gonna put you on suicide watch. They do it to all people with serious charges like that. And
Well, I didn't know that.
See, I got a lot of glass on it. And they put you in some, you'll be naked. Except for some gown. That's a padded gown. That's that, that's thick stuff. Just, strap it off. And then
like a Velcro.
Yeah, and then a padded blanket on a little mat. But yeah. You'll be there for at least 3 days, at least 72 hours. And then somebody come talk to you every day, but you'll be able to see them out there. And and then jail, don't give nobody no motherfucking right now. They got them motherfuckers running around and they have the cars. I'm talking about looking like they getting ready to go on a battlefield. They got so much shit on them. I mean, unbelievable. And also, all of them got them.
Now he knows his brother's cooked, so he's just telling him what's gonna happen. He's giving him the whole rundown. I'm like, all right, so in prison, don't do this. When the judge happens, do this. They're gonna do this for you. This is gonna happen. He's like, I've done all of this. It's exactly what's gonna happen.
I demanded that you go, pretty much. I wanted you to go tonight. He said it's just a process that got to be go through or something, but I mean, because they're gonna let you go.
No, I know that.
But I was trying to get to do it like now. Let's go now. But it's something about once you was already a warrant was sworn out.
Yeah,
they have to go through do the and come through the district attorney or something. I said, well, so does that mean till Monday?
No, sometime I don't know.
And he said, wait, no, he said, it could happen tomorrow. He said it's a process. It depends on the people.
But their plan didn't work. The twins refused to talk about important details. And when it became clear that they weren't getting anywhere, the detective...
I mean, yeah, because like low key, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing, okay? This guy knows his brother is cooked, okay? He knows. The brother knows he's cooked. So they're not going to discuss it because in their minds, it's already over.
...rated them again.
Difficult for you. I know there's a lot of things that are going through your mind and things that are processing. I understand that. However, this is our only opportunity to get what happened out there out and in a way that people could understand. This is it. After we conclude here in the next few minutes, you'll be taken over to the county jail. And the next time that you see Detective Cruz will be in a preliminary hearing. And it'll be a different setting. He will present everything that he has on the case, which is overwhelming. When I mean video, the DNA,
more video,
the prints, the phone records, the video on the other end where you're seen getting out of the car, wearing the same exact clothing you were at the Quick Trip, the same clothing that the witnesses saw you at the bus stop. I mean, it's overwhelming. I mean, I can't put it any other way. That's why I stress to you the importance of why people are gonna ask.
He's really just trying to get him to confess. That's good, brother, though. Interesting how he doesn't talk about what happened explicitly. Is he even allowed to? No, I mean, there's no rules for what they can talk about. Honestly, the police probably want you to discuss the crime in the investigation room because that gives them more evidence to go off of when prosecuting you. So they would want you to talk about it, if anything.
12 jurors are going to say, okay, wait a second. Why did this happen? And they're going to look at us and we're going to explain. We sat with them. We gave them the opportunity. This is what happened. Some things went wrong. I don't know if some insults were thrown out there. I don't know. You haven't been, the interaction I have with you, what happened out there just doesn't match up to you. But obviously something went wrong. Something went wrong. I'd like to know. Detective Cruz would know. I don't know the family would. The family's not even mad at you. Do you know that?
You said that like 4
The
times.
only thing that family looked
You said they were religious. You said they just want closure. You said they just want to know why.
In this realm of why did this happen? Why is this going on? They're not mad at you. They just want to know why she had to go away. That's simply put why they want to know. And I can't begin. I don't know. I wasn't there. I have no idea what things set you off that day that ended up with you in Forest Park, her here, and her not with her family anymore. Though that's what we're looking at when this is all said and done. She's not here. She has a bunch of children. She had 3 adopted children that she had. She was a church-going lady. She was sitting there waiting on her, I believe her daughter that worked at Longhorns, I believe.
Red Lobster.
I'm sorry, Red Lobster. That's all she was doing, just waiting.
Damn, why he correct? Wait. Did he correct him on the workplace or did the other cop?
Going lady. She was sitting there waiting on her, I believe her daughter that worked at Longhorns, I believe.
Red Lobster.
I'm sorry, Red Lobster.
Nah. Looked like he did.
That's all she was doing, just waiting.
But it was the I think it was the cop. Voice is very different.
For some reason, her world and your world connected.
I don't know. It looked
The
like him,
reasons
but
why,
it didn't sound like him.
Do I want to know? I think everybody would like to know. It's important. I don't think you're a cold, calculated murderer.
I feel like I've heard that. I don't believe that. I don't think you're this. They always say that.
Something, either she said, you guys had a disagreement, something went wrong at that car, and she's no longer here anymore. And all we're looking to do is essentially find out why. That's it. When it all boils down to it, that's all we want to know.
And I want to say something. I want to say something.
Bro's finally speaking?
Smoke 1 cigarette.
Okay.
And
we'll come back and talk. Fair enough, Ron. You've been good. I'm gonna get me a smoke. Do you have a smoke?
Ronald had gone to the bathroom to smoke a cigarette, but the detective who followed him could not believe his eyes. Ronald had lit up the exact same brand of cigarette that was found at the crime scene.
You idiot. But it's like, I'm glad you dumb. I'm glad you're dumb.
So back in the interrogation room, the detectives changed tactics and they shifted their seating, sitting in front of the camera rather than having Ronald stay there, assuming that if he didn't feel that the camera was on his face, he might let something slip. And they were right.
And why? It was an accident. A straight accident.
So shoot someone in the face is an accident?
It was a hair trigger. It was a hair trigger, and it was an accident.
Okay.
It was an accident.
Damn, he just admitted that.
And I should have known it was a hair trigger because I had accidentally shot. I had accidentally shot it that morning on accident. And
What's a hair trigger? A hair trigger is when like you accidentally pull the trigger. It's like you graze it slightly and it fires. That's why they say like a hair, because it's like a thin, slight graze. Like you barely tapped it with your finger and it went off. Or like you bumped it and it went off.
I set out to take a car.
It's usually easy to press. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really understand how hair triggers on guns work, because I feel like you normally have to like press it firmly. I mean, if you press it at all, it would probably go off. But like if you press it down, like the same amount of effort you need to click on the keyboard is how much you need to pull a trigger. And from my experience.
Heck,
Right.
but always in my mind, it was if the gun was this for something. So there wouldn't be much resistance. But it was an accident. I was in the hotel room that morning. And the gun went off. I had it in my hand and it handed down. I barely touched them. And the same thing happened later that evening. There. And when I got out, I noticed the police officer, BC was dressed like a police officer. I guess he was like doing extra night duty or something. I mean,
So then he probably was trying to steal the car and then accidentally shot her.
an extra job.
Moonlighting it.
Thing.
Right.
And I didn't see him at first when I parked the car. So then I kind of walked towards him because I wasn't sure if it was also police or not. So I walked towards him like I was looking for something. And then I was on the phone. And I oh, yeah. I was on the phone. And I tried to play it off like I was looking for something. That's why I started yelling into the phone.
Okay.
And I went back to the car. And I saw him coming up, walking up to the car, and I took off. And I seen him on the radio in the mirror. And so I knew I couldn't get too far. So I left out that parking lot, went down the street, parked in another parking lot, and got out. I went to the hotel, but it was, I did not mean to shoot that woman. It was a hair trigger. And I didn't drag her out of the car. It wasn't like that.
Okay.
The gun went off. She said, "You shot me."
So how she couldn't take her with you, so you?
No, she got out of the car.
Oh, okay.
I didn't drag her out of the car.
Okay, all right.
It wasn't.
Different witnesses see things differently, especially when they hear something.
I did not drag that woman out of the car. Period. I wouldn't care what anyone say. I did not do that.
All right.
I didn't mean for the gun to go off in the first place.
You're just trying to get.
I mean, he left her body, so that's like leaving her for dead. I mean, I guess he was like, I don't want to get arrested for this, so, you know, I'll take my chances of like maybe getting away with it by running away. And then the other people were like, oh, well, you know, I'm definitely not. Because if he called it in and a media reported I accidentally shot this lady, like he'd be screwed off rip. But maybe his sentence would be less. But with whatever, with his method of running away, I guess there's a chance he could be free. I mean, slim at best.
Car.
But yeah, he would get a way lower sentence.
And she said, "Help." And I was getting in the car, and she said, "Help again." Only lighter this time. And I drove off.
Panicked, right? I'm just trying to get out of there, I would imagine.
I just wanted to get out of there.
That's reasonable.
The woman didn't deserve.
That is not reasonable. What are you talking about?
I had no intention on doing that. It went off. Shocked the shit out of me. Because it wasn't drastic. And the only way I would really hurt somebody is if someone was trying to hurt me.
Ronald admitted that he had seen the perfect carjacking victim. A woman, alone, at night, with no one to protect her. He approached Janai Coleman, threatened her with his .357 Magnum.
See, I've heard so many stories of like robberies where someone threatens someone with a gun and accidentally fires it. My thing is, if you're gonna rob someone with a gun, if you point a gun at anyone and you don't intend for them to die, like, you're kind of an idiot, you know?
And demanded her car. But then, he claimed, the gun quote-unquote accidentally went off because of its hairpin trigger. But the detectives didn't buy that for a second. Ultimately, the police released Donald, and Ronald was charged with the murder of Janai Coleman. When Ronald Smith took the stand in court, what happened next stunned everyone. His story did a 180, or hell, maybe even a complete 360 back to where we started. Ronald claimed that it wasn't him who murdered Janai Coleman, but rather his twin brother, Donald. According to Ronald,
so he tried to rat out his own brother after his brother came in and tried not to implicate him. Bro, that is crazy. Nah, that is crazy. But also, how would that defense work? Because the fingerprints only are gonna match you, bro. They're only gonna match you. That's crazy. His brother almost got screwed over twice.
he had nothing to do with the crime. He was simply helping Donald clean up the mess after Donald murdered Janai and stole her car. But there was one major problem. The jury wasn't buying his story. The evidence told a different story.
He also admitted it on video, bro. He literally confessed.
He made his confession. Ultimately, Ronald Smith was found guilty of the murder of Janai Coleman. He was sentenced.
Donald is innocent. Ronald is the murderer.
Sentenced to life in prison, plus an additional 25 years.
There you go. The one time someone can use the "it must have been my evil twin" excuse validly. Remember, Ronald and Donald is also a crime. I love how the basis of his defense was, "you wouldn't catch me wearing that shirt." I'm glad he's not going for a jail he didn't commit. Imagine having an identical twin you got separated at birth, didn't know existed, and then one of them got convicted of a crime. Wait, that's actually so terrifying. Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not a twin, bro. Wait, I never even thought about that. If I was adopted, I would literally be my pants right now. I'd be like, oh hell no. Like, it's up for me, bro. It is up for me. Like, I'm screwed.